We cover basketball. And so much more. He's out! By sports reporters. And Meech. What up? Watch the show and read the sports blog. Hitting the field.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your core.
Coming up on UCF Nightly News, see how UCF student Radley Gillis is doing 1 year after his motorcycle accident.
Plus, find out how bright futures will be affecting students who are taking summer classes.
And a UCF professor and his students are creating a laser that can scan toxins in the air as quickly as a barcode. Find out how this experiment will help with new discoveries.
Also, we'll tell you how a student is fighting against the rise in obesity rates.
Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Natalia Carreño.
And I'm Dana Applin. Today is Friday, April 6, 2018.
A North Carolina man faces felony charges after forcing a woman into a car on UCF campus. 20-year-old Therian Graham is facing charges of kidnapping, false imprisonment, and battery. He is being held at the Orange County Jail without bond. The incident took place Wednesday afternoon in Garage E when Graham picked up the woman, forcing her into the car and holding her down on the floorboard. During an interview with police, the woman says she and Graham were vacationing in Orlando. The woman left the hotel where they were staying to visit a friend at UCF. Graham went looking for her when they got into an argument.
Political speaker Charlie Kirk is coming to campus next week. A history of violence at Kirk's events is leading the political organization Antifa to prep its members for peaceful protests. The group plans to follow through with this tweet and vows to protect students from fascists and emphasizers. The protest will take place in front of the psychology building where Kirk is planning to speak. One Antifa member says he will protest in an effort to stop Kirk's message from affecting college campuses.
They are spewing massive amounts of hate and propaganda to not only distraught, cause mass hysteria and disorientation, but also to divide and to conquer.
Hill says Antifa Orlando will not be the only group protesting. He also says the group's protesting plan on wearing black and gold to stand with UCF students who will be doing the same. Some students say Kirk is protected by the First Amendment and feel like people should not protest.
Bright Futures, a scholarship program funded by the state of Florida, used to only cover fall and spring semesters. For the first time starting this year, the scholarship will cover summer finances as well. In an email sent out to UCF students with the scholarship, Bright Futures announced a new award. Bright Futures says the award will cover 100% of a student's summer term when enrolled in 6 credit hours. UCF student Alexandria Alford has Bright Futures and explains how not having financial support during the summer affected her.
There were a lot of times that I wanted to take summer classes because we have the 9 credit hour requirement for graduation, and I wasn't able to because I didn't really have any money to do it.
Bright Futures says students are required to complete a survey before they can enroll in their summer term. Students may do so by visiting ofsa at fldoe.org. For more information, students can drop by University's Milliken Hall, Building Room 107.
A new laser technique may help detect toxic chemicals in the atmosphere. Reporter Carla Rodriguez tells us how a UCF Crail professor and his students are changing the future of photonics technology.
Professor Konstantin Voryopana found a new way to use infrared lasers to detect even the smallest amounts of chemicals in the air. The technique is so accurate and sensitive, it only takes a single molecule to be detected.
You can take a mixture of, let's say, a couple of dozens molecules, and then we can detect them all simultaneously in a mixture. And we can do that very fast, actually. We can do that in 1 second.
The laser can be used to detect things such as airborne agents and the chance of a biological to chemical attack to even traces of life in space. This can even scan for diseases as quickly as scanning a barcode. Photonics student Teemu Tomberg shares his role in the process.
I'm trying to push that limit even further. So using method that which we can reduce the background, which is the major contributor in our measurements that we don't actually want there. I'm going to try to get rid of that, and by that I'm left with only the useful information that we want from there.
Next on Dr. Voryopanov's agenda is to make all of this into this.
With the right team of professionals, I believe that we can make this very sophisticated device into something very small, like a laptop size or even less.
Reporting from Orlando, Carla Rodriguez, UCF Nightly News.
Voryopana is working on improving the lasers technology. He plans to reduce the overall cost and make this more user-friendly.
UCF Student Government Association continues to find ways for our campus to stay environmentally friendly. This semester, SGA is offering biodegradable confetti to use for their graduation pictures. Students usually use confetti that is not biodegradable. SGA's Health and Sustainability Coordinator, Skylar Verone-Chenard, says the eco-fetti is better for the environment.
It's kind of like a rice paper confetti. It's very soft. It's not as metallic looking as regular confetti. And the idea of it, like I said, is it won't get stuck on the cement, it won't stay in the grass or get washed into different sections of the water.
SGA is still working on bagging the eco-fetti, but Verone-Chenard is excited for students to be able to come pick up a bag or two from the SGA office. All leftover bags will be used for next semester's graduations.
New studies show that childhood obesity is on the rise. U.S. News and World Report says that numbers are up 4.5% since 2014. Nightly News reporter Olivia Parsons tells us how some college students turn to nutrition to fix the problem.
It's an epidemic Obesity.org reports is on the rise. Childhood obesity is nearly tripling in numbers, and 1 in 5 children between the ages of 2 and 19 years old in the U.S. are overweight. Hunter Gatto is a health services major and CrossFit coach. He says it's not all about working out, and what you eat has a big effect on your health.
Everyone that comes into this gym asks me how to lose weight, and they think CrossFit's gonna be the answer to it, or like cardio, or like running, swimming, all that kind of stuff. But the first thing I tell them to do is change your diet.
But some students haven't been so lucky. Junior Mark Tavilla says he fell victim to gaining unnecessary weight his first year in college. Tavilla says he was on a meal plan his freshman year and says he would always choose junk food over healthier options.
I would just go straight to 63 South and eat like a bunch of pizza and just a bunch of not good food in general. So basically by the end of spring semester that year, my freshman 15 was like a freshman 40.
So how can we fix the problem? UCF dietitian Valerie Schultz says having nutritional education in our school systems can help to combat the issue. Schultz says the key to a healthier lifestyle starts with the balance of diet and exercise.
Young people in particular need to understand that there should be a balance between the amount of time we spend sitting in our chairs and staring at screens and the amount of time that we spend being physically active.
Schultz says eating healthy and exercising is all part of a lifestyle change. In Orlando, Olivia Parsons, UCF Nightly News.
For students interested in getting their health back on track, they can visit UCF Health Services. Health Services offers a series of programs and food partners to help students on UCF's main campus.
It's been 1 year since UCF student Radley Gillis got into a motorcycle accident that changed his life. After the accident took both of his legs, he found more support than he expected. Nightly News met with Gillis this week to see how his past year has gotten him to where he is today.
I guess it went out from under me, which I still can't believe it happened because I've been, riding motorcycles since I was little.
On this day 1 year ago, Gillis was fighting for his life. His battle touched hundreds of students on campus, leading to multiple fundraisers raising money for him. And Gillis is still shocked by all the support he received and still has.
They told me what everyone had been doing for me, and when I woke up and I heard that 80 people were in the hospital as soon as it happened, that was just a crazy feeling.
Gillis is overcoming each obstacle with fraternity brothers by his side. They elected him as their president for the 2018 spring and fall semesters.
They were all there all the time. It was awesome. And that definitely kept me sane and kept me in good spirits.
Gillis's biological brother, Jake, says it's great to have his brother back to normal.
It's so huge that he's like that, because after the accident, you never know what could happen, mentally, if he was going to be able to recover, but I can honestly say he has 100%.
His roommates support him every day, from taking him to doctor's appointments to going to the gym.
It's crazy to see how far it's really come. It's not easy, but he's definitely come a long way.
Now Gillis is focusing on walking since his prosthetic legs are finalized.
I'm pretty much getting rid of the doctors at this 1 year mark.
Gillis says this accident doesn't change his life goals. He plans on graduating this fall and feels confident in his recent LSAT score. Reporting in Orlando, Natalia Carreño, UCF Nightly News. Gillis hopes to attend the University of Florida for law school. His mom continues to update everyone who donated to his medical fund through his GoFundMe page. Coming up after the break, plans for a solar plant on campus may lead to the relocation of endangered species.
Plus, find out more about the importance of resting from a sleep specialist. Irregular sleep patterns are positively associated with students' GPAs. Sleep specialists say students should get uninterrupted sleep every night. Nightly News reporter Brianna Jones spoke with a sleep specialist to find out how students can improve their sleep behavior.
Recent studies done by Scientific Report shows a direct correlation between students' sleep patterns and GPAs.
Lack of sleep is actually one of the highest academic impediments for student success.
Almost 33% of students ages 18 to 24 sleep less than 7 hours a night, according to the Centers for Disease Control. Crystal Colvenbach, UCF marketing coordinator, says students aren't consolidating the material they study because of lack of sleep.
Consolidation happens when we sleep. So the information that we learn during the day, our brain waits till we sleep in order to properly kind of store that information and process it into ways that are useful.
Colvenbach attributes this lack of sleep to the many demands students have. These demands range from school schedules to work schedules.
All those kind of things pull their lives in different direction, and sleep unfortunately is taking the hit.
Sleep hygiene is the different practices and habits that are necessary for good sleep. Christina Gabnikas, coordinator of clinical services, says napping is very beneficial to sleep.
The 20-minute naps show that you actually feel more refreshed during the day. You can, retain more.
Grabnikas says that catching up on sleep is not a good idea.
If you start sleeping in or going to bed later than 2 a.m. on Saturday and then Sunday you're sleeping all day, it's just going to mess up that rhythm. It's almost like a jet lag.
Students should get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep every day, says Grabnikas. Reporting in Orlando, Brianna Jones, UCF Nightly News.
Colvenbach says that students should go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Other tips are to cut out caffeine and alcohol before bed.
Gopher tortoises are an endangered species and may be relocated from UCF to make room for solar panels. Reporter Maya Dowdy walks us through the issue.
In order to achieve its goal of carbon neutrality by 2050, UCF is working on new initiatives, including a plan to bring a solar farm to campus to provide energy. But as the plans are being made, an endangered species might be changing some things. Guziejka is a biologist and urban forester at UCF who recently surveyed the endangered gopher tortoise, which resides on UCF property, including the desired land for the almost 40-acre solar plant.
The gopher tortoises would have to be relocated, and that's quite a lengthy and pretty intensive process. The FWC would have to get permits for the land to come in and excavate the tortoises.
According to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, relocating a tortoise can cost almost $2,000 per animal.
There are 32 active gopher tortoise burrows residing in the land plotted for the solar farm here at UCF. This means by FWC standards, the university could be spending upwards of $30,000 to relocate the endangered species.
These 32 burrows were surveyed on only 9 of the 40 to 50 acres planned for the solar farm, meaning that as the surveys continue, the amount of burrows and cost of relocation may continue to rise. A statement from UCF Media Relations Coordinator Rachel Williams says that if the solar farm is approved, the university will safely relocate any gopher tortoises on the project site. Kelly Kirk works on research in the Arboretum for an ecological field studies class and doesn't want the tortoises to be moved to develop land.
If they do this 40 to 50 acre project, what's to stop them from developing more of our lands?
Gopher tortoises are a keystone species with hundreds of other animals relying on them for survival, meaning the addition of a solar farm on campus may bring change to our university's ecosystem. Reporting from UCF, Maya Dowdy, UCF Nightly News.
The solar plant is not fully approved and has no current start date. To learn more about our university's wildlife, contact the Arboretum.
Coming up after the break,
we go outside with Tori to the weather.
The birds are chirping and the sun is out, but is it sticking around? Stay tuned until after the break for more on your weather forecast.
It's been pretty warm these past couple of days. Tori's, how's the weather looking out there?
I still agree. I'm trying. I'm a shitty person. The spring weather is here to stay. As you can see behind me, we're experiencing some beautiful and bright weather here in the Sunshine State. There's no doubt about it. The sun is out and there's barely any clouds out here right now. But that is only here to stay until Saturday night, when you can expect some thunderstorms going on through Sunday and the beginning of next week. But we'll get more to that in a second. For now, let's take a look at the rest of Florida and see what our neighbors across the state are experiencing. So as for our highs, we have 80 degrees in our capital of Tallahassee, 81 degrees in Jacksonville, 81 degrees in Tampa, 78 degrees in Miami, and a toasty 85 degrees here in Orlando. So as you can see, the high temperatures are pretty consistent throughout the state. So now for our lows to see if it's going to cool down in the evenings at all. We have a low of 57 degrees in our capital, 63 degrees in Jacksonville, 66 degrees in Tampa, 71 degrees in Miami, and 65 degrees here in Orlando. And now taking a look at our 5-day forecast for here in our hometown of Orlando. So you'll see that you're starting Saturday off with a high of 87 degrees and a low of 68 degrees with a 40% chance of rain. And then on Sunday, there's a high of 76 degrees with a low of 66 degrees and a 20% chance of rain. And then on Monday, that's when the rain and the thunderstorms are going to start picking up with a high of 87 degrees and a low of 71 degrees with a stark 80% chance of rain. Tuesday, there's a high of 77 degrees and a low of 60 degrees with a 90% chance of rain. But don't worry guys, because that is the last of the thunderstorms, because on Wednesday it's going to clear up with a high of 79 degrees and a low of 61 degrees. So it looks like the rain is going to start picking up in the beginning of next week. So today and tomorrow are your days that if you want to go hang out by the pool and soak up some rays of sunshine, make sure you do it before the thunderstorms hit. And then on Monday, brace yourself with some umbrellas and ponchos so you stay dry. So that's all for our weather for next week. So back to you, Natalia and Dana.
Thanks, Tori. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you about the success of the women's tennis team and their players.
Plus, former UCF basketball player AJ Davis is getting ready for Portsmouth Invitational Tournament.
Good afternoon, UCF Knights. This week marks an exciting week in sports. I'm Jimmy Calhoun, and here's a quick look at what's making news with UCF athletics. The UCF women's tennis team now has a pair of players ranked in doubles competition. Ksenia Kuznetsova and Maria Martinez rank at number 72 in the Intercollegiate Tennis Association double rankings. They jumped up 18 spots after not even being on the last released rankings 2 weeks ago. The pair has gone 4-1 in their last 5 matches. Head coach Brian Koniecko says they work so well together because of their relationship off the court and the work they put in on the court.
I mean, we do spend a lot of time in doubles and trying to understand where our opponents hit the ball and where we need to hit the ball in different scenarios. So I think we do a lot of work in that, but obviously their chemistry and them playing now for probably 6-7 months together has helped a lot.
UCF women's tennis team has won its last 10 matches and 14 of the last 15. The Knights currently sit ranked at number 22. Tonight is senior night at the USTA National Campus as UCF hosts its last home match of the season against Rice at 5. The AAC tournament begins on April 18th. The 2018 UCF men's basketball team season may be over, but AJ Davis's time on the court is not. Davis is now a former Knight, but is ready to continue shooting for his dream of playing in the NBA. His UCF test is how well he performs in the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. It is a 4-day, 12-game tournament that invites the top 64 graduating collegiate players to show their skills in front of NBA teams. Davis is hoping to use this competition to secure an invitation to the NBA Draft Combine and then on to the NBA, where his dad played.
Just to get to the next step and, keep on going in this journey of becoming a pro. Hopefully I can get invited to the combine or, then I can get drafted after that.
Davis finished his college career scoring around 1,000 points and tallying more than 600 rebounds. The Invitational will begin on April 11th and run through April 14th. Also, make sure this weekend to check out the men's baseball team and the UCF women's softball team. They both will be in Connecticut to take on the UConn Huskies. The men's baseball team, just coming off a win against number 16 Stenson, will play a game Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The UCF women's softball team, who's coming over a big win against number 4 Florida, will play a doubleheader on Saturday and Sunday. That's all we have for sports. Back to you, Natalia and Dana.
That's our time for right now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week on our website
at nightlynews.ucf. And if you got a story idea you want us to know about, send it our way. You can reach us at nightlynews@ucf.edu. Thanks for watching and have a great day.